Up next, meet the richest bag man in town on Who's Making It.
We wear Roberto purses.
Later on My Neighborhood, a new look at East Harlem on Gotham TV.
Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's almost like a clique. It's almost like a clan. We wear Roberto purses.
They buy one and they get hooked.
You can basically fit his bags to your moods. They're all special. You design them yourselves, and that's the beauty of those purses. You end up having your own bag, and it's not the bag that you'll see on everybody else.
Well, I'm a self-taught person on designing and reading and writing. I became a designer, actually, in New York City 12 years ago. I am from Brazil. I came to learn English only and go back. And I fall in love. I was like crazy about New York. So the first time I came to America, I ended up homeless. And the place to come was Central Park. That was the place that I know best. So this is the place that I used to come when it was raining or unbearable cold, and it makes it much warmer here under the bridge. So, and I used to come in, sit down with my then friends, and have a good talk and a good laugh. And I chose this spot because I felt like a little protected. It made my living room at the time, and then my backyard was all around. Who had a backyard as big as that? Only Roberta. It was just life happens. And I was just like singing along, and I was like happy, and I said, you know, it's going to change. It's going to change. I got my first job in America at this deli, and it used to be nicer though at my time. It used to be a very Italian, very old style deli, and I watched the girls a lot, always with like 3, 4 bags. Big bag and a little bag they took to pay me and stuff. And then I said, you know what, maybe I make handbags. So I went downtown, I bought a hide of leather and a blade, needles and thread, and I made around 12 bags. And I took a piece of cloth and I put on the streets after my daily work and selling them. And I was making more money outside than I was making inside, and much faster. And then I got a license at the flea market, and I had a booth here, and it was really successful. People really like it. And months later, I got a write-up in the New York Times.
When the feature was presented, the women were outside the gates, a slew of them, perhaps 50, waving the paper, just waiting for the doors to part, like the splitting of the Red Sea.
That was it. I was swamped by people and opened my first shop. One on 6th to 9th in Columbus, one on 10th Street, and one on Spring Street in Soho.
It's Roberto. Oh my God, it's like the most amazing, talented bag designer in New York City.
Thank you. I had a factory on the garment industry, and I had many people work for me. I was sitting behind a desk, but giving people's orders. I wasn't happy. I was like, I got a block, and I said, you know what? I can't do it. It's not it. And I said, I will quit. Then moved back to Brazil the next day, and I lived there for 5 years.
What was amazing is when you had disappeared for a while, you would go to the museum, you would go to like the opera, and you'd be online at the ladies' room, and all of a sudden it would be, oh, that's a Roberto bag. Have you heard from him?
That's cool. The reason that I came back to New York, for my own ego, to say, okay, I can do it again. I can do it again, and I can do it better. And the second time that I also became homeless was more wild, because I was all over the magazines, and then I was homeless. And I called a friend of mine, and I asked her, I said, you know what, I think I'm ready to make bags, and I need help, and I believe in myself, and I hope you do too.
And I said, I know you can do it again. I believe in you. I believe in you. You did it once. You can most definitely do it again. So I gave him some money to buy some hides.
I kind of like rented a sewing machine for a couple hours to make the bags. And from there was like history. I made it.
It was like, hallelujah, Roberto is back.
It's really cool shape, I think, isn't it?
I love the shape. How it opens up like that.
The difference between the first time and the second time, I am more involved with my customer. What I usually offer here is that you custom make a bag. That's very important. You be involved on the design of the bag.
And this is great.
This is the cell phone to match that.
Yeah.
But, I think we just have to make a shorter strap if you want it.
Yeah, I want a shorter strap.
It's like it happened here, and that's why maybe I'm so attached to New York now. You know, it's like the second chance around. Who gets that? Very few people. And I feel blessed and lucky.